Welcome back to the Shannon Center at St. Xavier University. My name is Jonah White, producer Nick Majakowski. Appreciate you joining us for this one. We're at halftime. The St. Xavier Cougars are doubling up. The Calumet College of St. Joseph Crimson Wave, 44-22. Quick look at the halftime stats before we get set in the third quarter. St. Xavier out shooting Calumet 40-39. So that's not really been the difference. They've had 45 shots, though, to Calumet's 23. That has been the difference. 14-2 in terms of turnovers, 25-20 in terms of rebounds. Leading scorer for the game is Jaden Green with 17 points. Veronica Bafia has 14 points. For the Cougars, who are in white, the Crimson Wave wearing crimson. As we are underway here with the third quarter, St. Xavier looking to improve and win their third game in a row to start conference play in the CCAC. Peets inside, bounces off the ribbon in for Aleda Peets. She's got 6 points in the game. And we'll see if the Cougars come up with the pressing that they did in the first quarter. Looks like they do this time. It's broken by Jayana Smith. Smith had 5 in the first half. There's McCoy. There's Divine Woods. She leads the Crimson Wave with 6 points. That's deflected out of bounds by Peach. St. Xavier 4-2 overall, 2-0 in the Chicagoland Collegiate Athletic Conference, the CCAC. And Calumet College of St. Joseph 2-2. This is their first game in CCAC play. That bounces out of the hands of Priscilla Diaz. Johnson. Feed. Short. Buffia. Rebound and a foul call as she went back up. And that's the third foul on Divine Woods. Bafia still looking to make her first free throw, and there it is. Now she's got 15 points. She made her first 7 shots from the field, still 7-10. Her and Jaden Green, the 2 leading scorers for St. Xavier, both having fantastic first halves. 2 from the line for Bafia. Oh, a steal. Bafia. Green. Travel. Didn't get all the way out of her hand there. Good job there, recovering by Jayada Smith. Another chance for the Cougars to press. They do. It's tipped by Bafia, retrieved by Egan. Green for Bafia, but the left hand and short. Rebound, McCoy. Woods working on Bafia, slips. Egan to the right. Peets at the free throw line. That was Lemons shot the rebound for the Crimson Wave. Johnson gets a tip, guarding Smith. Smith. Wild effort. Lemons the rebound. Lemons once more. But it just trickles out. Good defense by St. Xavier. Here's Bafia. Bafia in between defenders. Smith trying to go the other way. Green the only player back. Up goes Smith. And Green didn't want to foul. So Smith now with 7 points and 7 rebounds. Both of those lead her team. Peets. Green. Loading it inside, looking for Pete. Foul. The standout freshman Elena Peets is at the free throw line. 50-24. If you're just joining us, oh, maybe get another steal for her. She anticipates another pass. Johnson winding inside, batted around and controlled by McCoy. It was 4-2. Calumet College's St. Joseph early on. And then St. Xavier controlled the rest of the first quarter. Went into the second quarter up 27-8 and have not really looked back from there. Peets with the defense there on Lemons. Way up ahead. Too hot the pass. It's headed for Bafia. May Vegan, by the way, in this game has 4 steals. Bafia has 3 steals. Smith breaks the press. Up ahead, losing her balance there was Moreno. Almost had a layup opportunity. Bafia the other end. Bafia! Going back and forth. Green for the scoring lead in this one. Now Bafia has 18 points. Almost another steal that goes off the knee of May Vegan. Chabelkis and Amadio come in for the Cougars, and Smith there a little bit slow to get up. Looks like, fortunately, she's okay. Say 52-24, St. Xavier advantage. 10-second violation. Well, Smith, remember, was a little slow getting up at the end of the last play, and it was not. That 10-second clock doesn't get reset. It was a deflection out of bounds, and whatever time had gone off the clock still counts. I don't think it was realized. There's a foul. Amadio is going to go to the free throw line. McCoy called for the foul. That's going to be the 4th team foul for Calumet St. Joseph. 3rd of the 4th team foul. Let's say 3rd. Amadio, sophomore guard from McKenna, Illinois. Looking to get on the board for the first time in this game. She does. First point to the season there for Gianna Amadio. Elena Peach called for the foul at this end. And it's going to be Anaya Moreno shooting free throws. Shooting a free throw after that. Went in, but unable to complete the 3-point play. And the Cougars will take over. One more than double the Crimson Wave point total for St. Xavier. Brooklyn Johnson counted in a foul. Pritchett call for the foul. And Brooklyn Johnson is at the free throw line. She is excellent, 84% this season for Brooklyn Johnson. She's got 4 points in this game, but it's her first trip to the free throw line. Actually, with that now, 7 points for Brooklyn Johnson in this game. Pritchett. Woods. Guarded by Johnson, forced back out. Long three, Kidd. Caught by Shaden Green. Green downhill, drive and kick. Kibelkis off the rim. Johnson bounces out. Jump ball. Smith and Kibelkis were battling for it. Immediate timeout here past the halfway mark of the third quarter. 55-26, St. Xavier. (55-26). St. Xavier lead Calumet St. Joseph. The back of strong offensive performances by Veronica Bafia and Jaden Green. Gianna Amadio called for the foul. Smith fires across the paint to Moreno, gets it back. Smith, Moreno pushes it out. Extra feed from Woods. Getting a three. That's Bree Kidd for the Crimson Wave. Amadio. Chudzik. Brooklyn Johnson with a hand to the face. Rim backboard and comes to Moreno. Woods downhill. Chudzik a hand in there and a foul is called on Chudzik. Divine Woods to the free throw line where she's already 2 for 2. So Woods has 6 points. Kidd has 6 points. Gianna Smith has 7 points to lead the Crimson Wave. Divine Woods now 4 out of 4 from the free throw line of this one. Really, since the first quarter, this has been fairly even. It was 27-8 at the end of the first quarter. So basically a 25-4 run for most of the first quarter after it was 4-2. Calumet St. Joseph at one point. But since then, it's been relatively even. St. Xavier lead now 24. Divine Woods. A nice runner. Had to fire it off to a right there. 55-33. Same margin that we had at halftime. 22 points. Let's push out there by Chudzik. Kibelkis can't find it. Push it. The rebound. Here's Smith. Kidd will try again. This time ahead of the face by Pete. Chudzik with the board. Amadio. Pete says Kibelkis. Foul call. Smith doesn't agree. Smith walking to her bench towards her coach, Jim Davidson. Not happy about that call. That is the fourth personal foul on the Crimson Wave's highest scoring player this season as Kibelkis is at the line. That is a Kibelkis, junior guard from Piazzona, Illinois. Now with 6 points in this one. None of the starters, check that. One of the starters, Pete's, on the floor right now for St. Xavier. Nice job there by Pritchett, saving it from the backcourt. Kidd's going to try another three, short, knocked away from Moreno. Nice job by Amadio. It wound up in the hands of Kibelkis. Benjamin rebounded by Amadio. The bounce pass intercepted by Pritchett. Pritchett against Chudzik. A blocking foul on Chudzik. Trying to get in position in time for Pritchett, but goes the other way. Fourth team foul on the Cougars in the third quarter with 1:36 to go. It's a shooting foul. Pritchett has 2 points in this game. Senior from Gary, Indiana. Connects on the first free throw. St. Xavier won both the meetings between these teams last year. Moreno. That's foul there on Pritchett right after the free throws. Cougars are in the bonus, so Chudzik goes to the line with a chance to get on the board in this game. Senior from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. He's only 2 for 2 in free throws this season, scored 12 points total. $25 points, the St. Xavier lead. Pritchett in trouble, only got a space. It deflects out of bounds. Alani Roche. Freshman from Merrillville, Indiana, is in for the Crimson Wave. Trying to create some space for Pritchett. Short. Kibelkis the rebound. Chudzik setting up the transition offense. Kibelkis for three. Michelle Diaz getting the rebound. Pritchett throwing it across. Kidd wants another three from the corner. Taken down by Amadio. Amadio wants to run. Amadio walk it in, and it bounces out. Diaz, the rebound. Woods. There's a 3-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock here at the end of the third quarter. No rush for the Crimson Wave. 8 on the shot clock. Pritchett, 3 on the shot clock. Has to get it off. Pritchett. That's a shot clock violation. Shot didn't hit the rim, so 2 seconds on the game clock here. Aaron Robinson comes in for Crimson Wave. 2 seconds. That is not going to count, even if it would have got in. And that'll do it for the third quarter. St. Xavier in the driving seat with 10 minutes to go. They lead Calumet St. Joseph 59-34. We start the fourth quarter. It's been a good evening for the St. Xavier Cougars. It's been a good season for them so far. Julia Benjamin makes it a little bit better. Freshman from Glen Ellen, Illinois. Opens the fourth quarter with a 3, her first points of the game. St. Xavier, 6 games, 4 wins coming in. Only 2 losses to ranked teams in the top 10. And a travel is called there on Pritchett. They have won both of the conference games that they have played so far. And just over 9 minutes away from making it 3-0 in the CCAC this season. Up goes Benjamin, whacked out of her hands by Pritchett. Nice play. Markeisha Pritchett. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Benjamin. Trying to find something to do with it there was Lindell. It took a deflection. But now only 5 seconds on the shot clock. And Michaela Kelly, the sophomore from Frankfort, Illinois, will inbound. Chudzik. Pete still a lone starting player on the floor for the Cougars and snatched away just before the end of the shot clock by Pritchett. Up ahead, Diaz running out of room. McCoy picks it up off the ground. McCoy, nicely done by McCoy. Able to grab it and flick it in at the second try. Chudzik the dish. Peach to run to the rim. And Atlanta Peach is into double digits. 10 points for her. Chudzik's got a few assists now. off the bench. Pritchett winding back and forth. Scooped up and in by Ariana Lemons. Lemons now with 6 points in this one. Benjamin, front of the rim and no. McCoy. Diaz. Pritchett, 6 seconds on the shot clock. Pritchett pushes it up. Defense provided by Julia Benjamin, who's coming the other way. Kelly put up a 3, but the shot clock buzzer sounded. I don't think it should have. The official, I assume that's why he blew it dead. Sienna Smith comes back in. Remember, she's on 4 fouls, so she'll have to be a little bit careful. Ariana Cook. Ariana Cook in for St. Xavier. That's Cook. Eight on the shot clock. Chudzik. Long way from the basket. Kelly turns to the elbow. McCoy with the uncontested rebound. Smith. Lemons fighting. Lou Kelly. And scoring for Calumet St. Joseph. Credit the Crimson Wave for they responded after the first quarter. Lindell. Benjamin. Certainly, Cougars have kept them at arm's length on the scoreboard, but 27-8 after a quarter, and it might have looked like the Cougars would have a chance to really run it up, and that's not really what's happened. So the Wave have kept the lead pretty much where it was. Smith goes up, draws the foul. Fouls on Michaela Kelly. Giada Smith's been held to 7 points. She does have 9 rebounds. Aaron Robinson comes in for St. Joseph. Calumet St. Joseph. Smith averages 16 points per game, only 7 points in this one. And struggling now from the free throw line, 1 for 5. She's actually now only the 3rd leading scorer for a team. She does have the most rebounds of any player in the game with those 9, but 1 for 5 now from the free throw line is Smith in this one. Able to get it back. Robinson there with the 3. Transition opportunity for St. Xavier. Lindell. Just the bottom of the net, nothing more. Under 6 minutes to go in this one. Robinson tried to drive, lost the handle. Chudzik, the defense, picked up by Cook. Cook goes up, knocked down. Lindell from just inside the paint. And hits the short jumper. (66-40). Travel there. It's Offman there. Unable to hold her pivot foot. Mario coming back in. with an eighth of the game remaining. St. Xavier still a very comfortable lead, as they've had since the late first quarter. Mario puts up a three. Backed away by Lindell, but a foul is called as Lindell was trying to get it away from McCoy. Now we get that media timeout. St. Xavier up 66-40 here at the Shannon Center. Fourth quarter, 4:39 to go. St. Xavier up by 26 here at home. That's travel. They're back to the Cougars. Team turnovers in this game. 25-7. Plus 18. St. Xavier here in the turnover margin. Up goes Mario, blocked by Robinson. There's Lindell. Friendly fire there. Mario was going for the same ball as her teammate Cook, and they knocked it out of bounds together. Calumet St. Joseph in this game is shooting the ball more efficiently than St. Xavier. Woods can't get that to go, but they have had nearly 30 shots fewer, largely explained by that turnover margin. Rebounds are fairly even, 46-44. Neither team have had a lot of success from three-point land, both under 15% from three in this game. 14 free throws for St. Xavier, though only 6 good free throws from Calumet St. Joseph. Steal. That is Lindell. Benjamin, swashbuckling, blocked by Smith, got it back. Amadio. Rebound, tracked down by Kelly. On the way in goes Cook, brought down by Shayada Smith, who's into the double digits now in the rebounding column. Another steal. And a bump. Gonna be called on McCoy, bumping there with Amadio. St. Xavier will finish off a stretch of 6 home games in the first 8 games to start the season, where they take the court against Olivet Nazarene at 1 o'clock on Saturday at another conference game, as they look to keep their perfect CCA start going. Nice play. Steal and keep it in there by Othman, but it's turned straight around and put in by Benjamin. So, home game against Olivet Nazarene coming up Saturday at 1 here on St. Xavier YouTube. So, student radio station, they're here in front of us today. Well, this will send St. Xavier to 5-2 and 3-0 in CCAC conference play. In goes Kibelkis for 2 more. Kibelkis up near double digits. Now she's got 8 points in this one. Bafia 18, Green 17, Pete's 10. Divine Woods also has 10 on the other side for Calumet St. Joseph. And there goes Woods in between defenders. In and out of the woods there for 2. Now a travel and Gibson Wave try to make some inroads to the final couple of minutes. Calumet caught a drop to 2-3 on the season, 0-1 in CCAC play. This is their first conference game. They'll play Holy Cross at home at the Rittenmeyer Center in White Egg, Indiana. Lindell with a transition 2. St. Xavier lead up to 30, 72-42. Holy Cross, 1 p.m. Central Time. The next game for the Curbs and Wave. That's on Saturday. Also a conference game. This game really was won in the first quarter mostly. And it's been fairly even the rest of the way, but most of the margin plus 19 in the first quarter. Kibelkis ups down to 3. That'll likely cap this one off for St. Xavier. It's 11 points for Kibelkis. 4 players at double figures now for St. Xavier. Pops into the arms there of Benjamin. The shot clock is off. The St. Xavier Cougars with an impressive performance this afternoon at the Shannon Center. And the Cougars are 3-0 to start conference play. All around good performance. Bafia and Green leading the way. And a 33-point win. That'll do it for us. Stick around though. The men's game. Calumet St. Joseph and St. Xavier. Men's team's going at it right here at the top of the hour at 7. We'll be right back for that. The final score for this one for Chris Gabor and Nick Nyakowski. My name's Joe White saying so long. The final score in this one, St. Xavier 75. Calumet College's St. Joseph 42.